Have you ever thought that something as healthy as an avocado could actually be working against your health? It sounds surprising, even a little unsettling. But it's true. While this creamy green fruit has earned its place as a superfood, especially among health-conscious folks like yourself, there are real risks hiding beneath its smooth surface. Risks that most people never hear about. And if you're over 60, some of these risks could affect you even more. Let's be honest, many of us add avocado to our breakfast toast, our lunchtime salad, or even a protein smoothie, believing we're doing something wonderful for our bodies. And in many cases, we are. But what if I told you there are 6 common mistakes people make with avocados that could quietly sabotage your health goals, or worse, lead to complications with your medications, digestion, or allergies? That's exactly what we're going to uncover in today's video. These aren't just casual tips. They're backed by science and years of nutritional research. And by the end, you'll not only understand how to avoid these pitfalls, but also how to get the most benefit from avocados without worry. So before we begin, if you're someone who eats avocados regularly, I'd love to hear how you usually enjoy them. Comment below and tell me. And if you care about your health and love learning these science-backed insights in a calm, clear way, don't forget to subscribe to Health 365. You'll be joining a warm, supportive community focused on aging wisely and living fully. Now let's dive into the first big mistake that most people, especially older adults, make with avocados. It has to do with a hidden natural toxin that almost no one talks about. There's a natural compound found in every part of the avocado plant called persin. It's not printed on labels, not mentioned in recipes, and hardly anyone talks about it. But it's there, inside the leaves, bark, seeds, skin, and yes, even in the flesh that we eat. Now don't worry just yet. Persin in ripe avocado flesh is present in very small amounts, and for most healthy people, it doesn't pose an immediate threat. But if you eat avocados often, or every single day, it's something worth knowing. You see, persin is a natural fungicide, a defense mechanism the plant uses to protect itself from pests and mold. But in our bodies, especially if we're more sensitive or have liver issues, that same compound can cause subtle trouble over time. A lab study published in a toxicology journal showed that avocado extract caused DNA damage in white blood cells in a petri dish under controlled conditions. Now, that doesn't mean eating avocado will damage your DNA, but it does remind us that even natural foods contain compounds we should respect, not overuse. Especially as we get older, when our liver function can slow down and our tolerance for certain plant chemicals may decrease. What's even more concerning is what persin does to animals. In birds, it can lead to heart problems or even death. In mammals like goats or horses, it can cause swelling of the mammary glands and heart failure. Humans are more resilient, of course, but we're not immune. If you've been eating avocados daily and start noticing things like fatigue, digestive upset, or skin changes, it may be worth taking a short break and seeing how your body responds. That's why many nutritionists now recommend what they call a 5-on, 2-off approach. Eat avocado for 5 days, then take 2 days off. It gives your body a chance to process and recover, especially if you eat other foods that also contain plant compounds. In short, even something as healthy as avocado deserves balance and awareness. We'll talk about another surprising avocado danger in just a moment, and it's one that's quietly causing weight gain in people who thought they were eating clean. Now, let's talk about another trap that sneaks up on a lot of health-conscious folks: calories. Yes, avocados are full of heart-healthy fats, fiber, and important nutrients. But they're also surprisingly calorie-dense, and that can quietly sabotage your health goals, especially if you're watching your weight. blood sugar, or heart health. Here's the truth. Most people don't realize one large avocado contains about 320 calories. That's more than a full bowl of pasta or 2 slices of pizza. Yet, many of us treat avocados like a free food. We spread them on toast, toss them into salads, blend them into smoothies, or even eat one plain as a snack. And it adds up fast. You might think, but it's a good fat, right? Absolutely. It is. The monounsaturated fat in avocado is one of the best types of fat for your heart. But your body still sees calories as calories, whether they're coming from cookies or avocados. And when you're in your 60s or beyond, your metabolism naturally slows down, which means every extra bite matters more than it did a few decades ago. Research actually supports this balance. One large clinical study followed people who ate one avocado every day for 6 months. Their weight didn't go up, but only because they were carefully portioning and substituting, not adding it on top of everything else. In other words, they didn't add an avocado to an already big sandwich or salad. They used it in place of other fats, like mayonnaise or cheese. So, what's the right amount? Most nutrition experts suggest about 1/3 of a medium avocado per serving. That's roughly 50 grams or 80 to 100 calories. But here's what really helps. Track your intake for just 1 week. You may be surprised at how often that innocent-looking green fruit shows up on your plate. If you've been eating half or even a whole avocado every day without adjusting other parts of your diet, it could explain why the scale isn't moving, or why your clothes feel tighter even though you're eating healthy. Remember, avocados aren't the enemy, but even the best foods can work against us when we go overboard. Up next, let's talk about a risk that's even more serious and could affect you without you knowing it, especially if you've ever had a reaction to latex. Now here's something many people have never connected to avocados, but it could be one of the most dangerous risks, especially for those with hidden allergies. It's called latex fruit syndrome, and if you've ever reacted to rubber gloves, balloons, or medical equipment, you need to pay close attention. Latex fruit syndrome is a condition where people who are allergic to natural rubber latex also react to certain fruits and avocado tops that list. The reason? Both latex and avocados contain similar proteins that can confuse the immune system. So even if you've never had a full-blown allergic reaction, you may still have a sensitivity that's been flying under the radar. Doctors have found that up to 50% of people with latex allergies also react to avocados. That includes people who work or worked in healthcare, cleaning, food service, or even gardening. Jobs where contact with latex gloves or rubber products is common. Sometimes the allergy develops slowly, with symptoms that feel mild at first: a tingling mouth, a scratchy throat, or swelling in the lips after eating avocado. But it can also escalate quickly. Some folks experience full-body hives, difficulty breathing, dizziness, or even anaphylactic shock, a life-threatening condition that requires immediate medical attention. And because so few people realize the connection between latex and certain fruits, these reactions often go misdiagnosed or misunderstood. If you've ever had a strange or uncomfortable feeling in your mouth after eating avocado, or if you've had a reaction to latex, you may want to speak with your doctor about getting tested. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially as our immune systems change with age. And here's one more tip. Many other fruits share this cross-reactivity, including bananas, kiwis, and chestnuts. If you've had trouble with any of those, avocado might be on your personal watch list too. Of course, not everyone is at risk, but this is exactly why it's so important to understand how your unique body responds to certain foods. What's safe and healthy for one person can be risky for another. Next, we'll explore another avocado mistake that has nothing to do with allergies or calories, but everything to do with how you cut and store them. And trust me, it's a safety issue many people overlook. It might seem like common sense, but many people, especially those who love fresh produce, don't realize just how easily avocados can become contaminated. And unfortunately, the way most of us cut and keep them may be setting us up for serious foodborne illnesses. You see, avocados grow in warm, humid climates, perfect conditions not just for the fruit, but also for bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. These bacteria don't just sit on the skin. They can cling deep into the rough outer surface, finding small crevices where they're protected, even from a quick rinse. Now here's the real problem. When you slice an avocado without washing it first, your knife can pick up those bacteria and drag them straight into the flesh, the part you're about to eat. And because avocados have such a mild taste and creamy texture, you probably won't notice anything wrong. Spoiled or contaminated avocados often look and taste completely normal. Even more concerning, once an avocado is cut, it becomes a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Its high moisture and fat content, combined with being left out at room temperature, allows germs to multiply quickly. Food safety experts call the range between 40 degrees and 140 degrees the danger zone. Within this range, harmful bacteria can double every 20 minutes. So what can you do? Start by always washing your avocados under cold running water for at least 30 seconds before cutting, even if you don't plan to eat the skin. Use a clean knife and cutting board, preferably ones that haven't touched raw meat or unwashed produce. Once the avocado is sliced, refrigerate it right away in an airtight container. Never leave cut avocado at room temperature for more than 1 hour. Whole avocados can be stored at room temperature until they ripen. But once ripe, they should go straight into the fridge and be used within 5 to 7 days. And if you've ever scraped off the brown part and thought, "It's still good underneath," just be cautious. That discoloration could signal spoilage that's not visible or safe. Taking these simple steps makes a big difference, especially for older adults who may have a slightly weaker immune system and less resistance to foodborne bacteria. Now that we've covered food safety, let's talk about another silent danger, one that has nothing to do with how you cut an avocado, but everything to do with the medications you might be taking. Now, here's where things get a little more serious, especially if you're on daily medications, like many people over 60 are. Did you know that something as innocent as avocado can interfere with your prescriptions? Most doctors don't mention this, and it's rarely printed on a label. But certain compounds in avocados can change how your medications work, sometimes in dangerous ways. Let's start with blood thinners, like warfarin, Coumadin, or newer ones like Xarelto or Eliquis. These medications help prevent clots and strokes, but they rely on you having a consistent intake of vitamin K. Not too much, not too little. And here's the twist. Avocados contain moderate amounts of vitamin K. If you suddenly start eating them every day, you might throw off the delicate balance your doctor worked hard to establish. Too much vitamin K can cancel out your blood thinner, increasing your risk of a clot. But if you suddenly stop eating vitamin K-rich foods like avocado after having them regularly, your blood could become too thin, putting you at risk for bruising or internal bleeding. But that's not all. Avocados are very high in potassium, even higher than bananas. 1 cup contains around 975 milligrams of potassium. For most people, that's great for blood pressure. But if you're taking medications like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics, this can lead to hyperkalemia, a condition where potassium builds up in your blood. That can cause irregular heartbeat, muscle weakness, or in severe cases, cardiac arrest. Even if you're managing diabetes, you should proceed with care. The fiber in avocados can slow down absorption of some oral diabetes medications, potentially making them less effective. Meanwhile, their healthy fats can actually enhance insulin sensitivity, which sounds helpful. But in some cases, it might cause unexpected drops in blood sugar, especially if you take insulin or sulfonylureas. This doesn't mean you have to stop eating avocado, but it does mean you should talk to your doctor before making them a daily habit. Let them know how much you eat and how often, so they can help adjust your dosage if needed. And now, there's one final risk we haven't covered yet, one that's especially personal and easy to miss. It's not about toxins, calories, or medicine. It's about how your own body reacts to avocado in ways you might not even recognize. You see, even if avocados are packed with healthy fats and nutrients, they're not a perfect fit for everyone. And for some older adults, they may cause subtle, but very real, problems that are easy to miss or misinterpret. Let's start with digestion. A whole avocado contains over 13 grams of fiber. That's a lot for one sitting, especially if your digestive system has slowed down a bit with age. For people who aren't used to eating a lot of fiber, or who deal with sensitive stomachs, IBS, or sluggish bowels, this can lead to bloating, gas, cramps, or even sudden shifts between constipation and diarrhea. And it's not just the fiber. Avocados also contain sorbitol, a type of sugar alcohol that falls under the FODMAP group, a group of compounds known to cause digestive trouble for those with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO. Even a few spoonfuls of avocado can trigger discomfort that lasts hours or even days for those with FODMAP sensitivity. Some folks also react to the histamines in avocado, especially when the fruit is overripe. If you've ever felt itchy, flushed, headachy, or noticed skin rashes after eating avocado, you may be dealing with histamine intolerance, which becomes more common as we age. Then, there's something called oral allergy syndrome, a mild allergic reaction that happens when your body mistakes proteins in avocado for pollen allergens like birch or ragweed. You might feel a tingling or itchy mouth, lips, or throat. It's usually mild, but it can be uncomfortable and confusing if you don't know what's causing it. And here's the kicker. Some people, due to their genetics, don't process fats or plant compounds like persin as efficiently. Combine that with age-related decline in enzyme production, and suddenly, a food that's healthy on paper becomes harder for your body to handle. So how do you know if avocado is affecting you? The answer is simple, but powerful. Pay attention. Keep a little food journal. Track what you eat and how you feel over the next 24-48 hours. If you start noticing patterns, digestive changes, skin issues, unusual fatigue, it may be your body's quiet way of asking for less. And now that we've uncovered all 6 of these hidden risks, let's bring it all together and talk about how you can still enjoy avocado safely and confidently, without fear. Because yes, when done right, it is still one of nature's best foods. So, yes, avocados can still be one of the healthiest foods on your plate, if you treat them with the care and respect they deserve. Like so many things in life, it's all about balance, awareness, and listening to your body. We've talked about the 6 key mistakes, from ignoring the natural toxin persin, to overeating and hidden allergies, to medication interactions and storage safety. But the truth is, when you enjoy avocados in the right amount, prepared safely, and in a way that suits your body, the benefits are still remarkable. Better heart health, improved nutrient absorption, and even protection for your eyes and brain. If you're new to eating avocado, start slow. And if you've been eating them daily, maybe take a short break or adjust your portion. There's no one-size-fits-all, only what works best for you. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced any strange symptoms after eating avocado? Or do you have a favorite way of preparing it that's worked well for your health? Leave a comment below and share your story. It might help someone else. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe to Health 365. We're here to help you age wisely, eat well, and feel empowered every single day. More practical, science-backed videos are coming soon. See you in the next one.